Sorry, ladies, I'm gonna have a little focus problem here. Okay, to do this problem here, again, you can do it one of two ways. You can address the outermost exponent first and then work inside the parentheses, or you can go inside the parentheses first and deal with dividing these like bases. It's entirely up to you. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go inside the parentheses and work inside the parentheses first. So I'm going to divide these like bases of x. So x to the negative 2 power divided by x to the negative 5 power. What we're going to have is we're going to leave the base the same, x the same, and then we're going to take the numerator exponent, subtract off the denominator exponent. So this will be x to the negative 2 power, subtract negative 5, and then this whole quantity is going to be raised to the third power. Inside the parentheses, a negative 2 subtract a negative 5 is the same thing as x to the negative 2 plus 5, and this whole quantity is the third power. Therefore, we really have x to the positive 3 power raised to the positive 3 power. Negative 2 plus 5 is 3. Now, when you raise a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. Keep the base the same and multiply the exponents. So this is going to be x to the 3 times 3 power, or x to the 9th power. And that's your final answer for that problem there. All right. Let's try one more. A to the negative 5 power raised to the negative 3 power, and this is all to be multiplied by a to the 7th power raised to the negative 1 power, and then all this is going to be divided by a to the negative 3 power raised to the 5th power. This is about as complicated as these expressions are going to get as far as we're concerned in this course. In the numerator, let's try to simplify the numerator a little bit first, and we'll go downstairs and simplify the denominator separately. In the numerator, notice we have a power raised to a power here, and likewise a power raised to a power here. When you raise a power to a power, you multiply the exponent. So a to the negative 5th power raised to the negative 3rd power is going to be a to the negative 5 times negative 3 power, or a to the 15th power, times a to the 7th power raised to the negative 1 power is going to be a to the 7 times negative 1 power, or a to the negative 7th power. That's all going to sit over our denominator. In our denominator, we're raising a power to a power also, in which case we multiply the exponents. So we're going to have a to the negative 3 power raised to the 5th power is going to be a to the negative 3 times 5 power, or a to the negative 15th power. Back up in the numerator, now we're multiplying like bases together, in which case we keep the base the same and we add the exponent. So a to the 15th multiplied by a to the negative 7th power is going to be a to the 15th plus negative 7 power, and this sits over a to the negative 15th power. I'll continue down here. 15 plus a negative 7 is a positive 8, so the numerator simplifies to a to the 8th power, and that sits over our denominator, which is a to the negative 15th power. Finally, to wrap this problem up, we're dividing like bases, and to do so, we subtract the exponents. So we keep the base the same, and so we'll have a raised to the numerator minus the denominator power. So a to the 8 minus negative 15th power, which is a to the 8 subtracting a negative 15 is like adding a positive 15. So this would be a raised to the 8 plus 15 power, which finally gives us our final answer for this entire problem, which will be a to the 23rd power. And ladies and gentlemen, we're finally done with that problem. That was a rather involved problem, but I did show you all the steps, and obviously these videos are nice because you can pause them and rewind them and look over them over and over again to your heart is content and your mind is satisfied. I hope everything is going okay for you. That concludes section 5.2. Stay tuned as there will be more videos to come in the future. Take care.